kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I just got bags from Prada. Rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash and love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down when the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throw it, blinding my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mid dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Chicago Bears. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Cousins now. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them.
And Kamara has it stripped. And this is picked up by the Bears. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Following the turnover, it's Haskins. Being chased out left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Marcus Davenport able to record his 5th sack of the season. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Now it's Haskins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset. Draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And they're going to get the 1st down here across the 15-yard line. Give them the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Cousins. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Cousins. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down.
Listen to me.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Taken at the 37. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10.
Here we go. Right there. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now Haskins to throw it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. Cousins now to throw on first down. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Kamara off the draw. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We're scoreless after 1. From the 40 now on second down. Cousins looking long for Thomas. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. It's a gain of 34. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On second down, it's Jones. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Looking to throw Haskins. Buying time to his left. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Howard Wilson.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. They go play action. Cousins. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bears will get the football back. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. Takes to midfield, but no further, just a yard there.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From midfield now, Haskins finding Gabriel complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Let's go! 147. Yo. Watch out.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And they get to him quickly here as he stops right around the 13. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
3rd and 2.
Set, hut. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me. Check three, check, go. Check.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A chance now to get, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Aaron Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately... Would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
2nd and 3 at the 32-yard line.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Cousins now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Throwing. Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That is caught inside the 5. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Again, it's Cousins. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Kyle Rudolph. As the first half is winding down, and the Saints have taken the lead. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
At their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Mike 56, Mike 56.
On 2nd and 9, Haskins. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Incomplete. It's now 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
47's the mic, boy, 47. Check, 47.
Final play of the half. It's Haskins. Looking deep for Gabriel. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, this will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On 1st down, Jones. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, here's Jones. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense, though? It looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
They'll run on 1st down. Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 34-yard line.
Come on, set. 18 data. Trump. Watch the screen.
Now they'll look to Haskins to throw it. Dancing to his left. He'll run it. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now it's Haskins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Eli Apple. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. We have not seen much on offense from either side these last few drives. It has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, Okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Kenny Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Again, it's Jones. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Running on 1st down, Eckler. Tackled there by Alex Anzalone.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
I'm coming. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn 80 weapons. Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush. 25, check 25. Turn up.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Don't get nervous.
From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 13-yard line. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Going on the ground with Eckler. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 4th touchdown on the year. As they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And an important one that is, as we are tied now early in this 4th quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run it again with Kamara.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Cousins now. That'll be complete to Cook. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Running with Kamara. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Cousins now from the 50. It's caught. Smith. 20. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
On 1st down, it's Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 41-yard line.
Mike 51. Run. Now watch one. Slam. He's coming. We got double up. Right here, guys. Fight 51.
On 2nd down, Eckler. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Haskins will throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 46-yard line.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw on 2nd and 6. Cousins. He's going to loft this one deep. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Marshawn Lattimore. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Ready?
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They'll go again to Jones. 14 yards in a Chicago first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
At the 36-yard line.
Buddy up. 51, Mike, 51. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
They'll try the right side with Eckler. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Chicago. Austin Eckler with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a 1-score game in the 4th. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Cousins to throw. And Diggs has it. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Cousins. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. Touchdown. And now they're an extra point away from winning this thing in the final seconds. A very important extra point there, up and good. And that might be enough to win them the football game as they now take the lead in the final seconds. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You better talk to your boy. You better talk to your boy.
Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for New Orleans, it's a second win now as they move to 2-10 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time.